The second day in the month of December. Happy new month to you and welcome to the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. We could seemingly call it the very first edition for the month of December. My name is Wisdom Thomas. Welcome on board. Now, it is given that the quest for power involves the people, the channel being the party or platform, and the candidate. It's also given that these integral elements must work together to achieve that very aim. However, there is also a small room for power play, rancor by half, disagreements, and horse trading. What is left to be seen is how all parties handle the crisis and still thrive. The substantial candidate of the APC for Abia Central Senatorial District has been a subject of debate ever since the primaries were concluded, one which has seen in turns shifted from one interested aspirant of the party to another. The latest twist to this very story is the latest judgment of the Court of Appeal in Owerri, whereby Justice Rita Okpemu affirmed the Honorable Sam Onuigbo as the authentic candidate of the party, thereby nullifying the candidacy of Chief Emeka Atoma. Was that the right thing to be done? Does it reflect the will of the party? How does it even sit with him? These are a scattered few of questions that will be answered on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions this morning. You're welcome on board, and of course joining this very conversation virtually is Representative Sam Onuigbo, who is a member representing Ikwana Omaha Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives. And so we'll be throwing these questions to him. Remember that at some point definitely we will open up the phone lines as to get you involved in the conversation. So finally joining us is Representative Sam Onuigbo. Good morning to you, sir. He, of course, is the Ikwana Omaha Federal Constituency representative at the House of Representatives. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining the conversation.
Thank you very much, Wisdom, and good morning, listeners.
All right, let's get into the conversation right away. The latest judgment, I'm talking about the judgment of the Court of Appeal in Owerri, must be some sort of relief for you, or isn't it?
Absolutely. You can try to hide the truth for a very long time, but finally, it shall always come to light. And in the case of the judgment of Court of Appeal, the truth here is that the people of Abia State, the people of Abia Central, were witnesses to the fact that a primary election held, and in that primary election of the 28th and 29th, that we were supposed to be 4 contestants: Senator Nkechi, Chief Kesi Ubaja, Chief Enrico, and my humble self, Honorable Sam Onuigbo. But on the eve of the election, which was on the 27th, Senator Nkechi withdrew from that race in writing. She wrote a letter and said, "I will not participate." And then Chief Kesi Ubaja was so ill that he could not make it to the venue, and unfortunately that sickness killed him. May he still rest in peace. And then the contest was just between me and Chief Enrico, no other person. And at the end of the day, I won. Then surprisingly, somebody from nowhere, like a no flying object, we could call UFO, landed from the space and said, "I have the candidate, I have the mandate of the people." So the people of Abia State, the people of Abia Central, they were witnesses to the fact that this individual never participated in any primary election for the senatorial seat. Instead, he contested for a gubernatorial election. So the Court of Appeal has made that finding, and they made it very strong and very clear that this person never participated in the primary election. That's one of their findings and one of their rulings. So I'm really relieved.
Apparently, like you have already corroborated, you feel relief. Now you've equally pointed out something going back in time about how this entire imbroglio transpired and unraveled. Do you feel a little bit disappointed in your party with their stance especially?
Well, like I said, maybe you are listening to me for the first time. By the special grace of God, of the entire membership of the National Assembly, I was one of the 12 persons selected to do clause by clause consideration of this Electoral Act 2022. So, and I know that by His grace, we tightened some areas where party administrators and some stakeholders engage in senseless impunity. And those areas where we tightened, perhaps to the glory of God, are the areas that are helping to save a lot of aspirants. So yes, the party leaders, some of them, just some of them, a few of them, who decided that they must cause confusion within the system. I'm sure that by now, with a number of cases that have gone against them, we'll have to really rethink the approach to party administration and the idea that we can always embark on a journey of impunity. So for me, I think we have all gone past that. We have now come to the resolution that we have to work together if truly we want to, attain victory. So I'm first and foremost grateful to God Almighty.
I mean, this can be regarded as your stand in terms of thinking that you are now on the same page, especially with your party. But the other party have vowed to test the case at the final court. Aren't you considering reaching out to them, at least to mend the broken fences and bring them on board? This is a question you respond to after we return from this very short break. Stay with us. Issues that has to do with politics, economic issues, and of course basically things that has to do with every one of us as human beings, and of course occupants of this very terrain. My name is Wisdom Thomas, and the conversation basically this morning is about the latest court judgment which has nullified the candidacy of Chief Emeka Atoman. The other hand, giving a go to Honorable Sam Onuigbo, and of course he's part of the conversation, so we can look at this and clarify some things that has to do with it. Thank you for staying with us till Honorable Sam Onuigbo.
Thank you very much indeed, Wisdom.
We're live on Facebook, so go to facebook.com/Flow949FM and drop your comments there. That would equally allow you to see what is happening right here in the studio. Now, Honorable Sam, before we went on that very short break, I was talking about mending fences, because these things are ideal as long as the quest for power and positions are concerned in parties. Have you tried to reach out to them, giving in the aftermath of that judgment, at least to mend fences and bring them on the same page, possibly to rally round around you?
Thank you very much. Wisdom, I don't know how long you've been around Abia and around Umuahia. I'm sure you must have known.
As long as possible.
I'm a peace-loving person. And I like a situation where we work together. If you again do some just cursory investigations, you will find that within the party, I have always told them that everybody must lower his rank and come together to achieve a common purpose. That's my own battle cry. Bring down your rank, good to own rank. Can we record together? So,
does it include when your party perhaps doesn't want you to be there as the candidate of the party? Would you let go and then possibly be docile?
I've told you, when there are signs of senseless impunity, as demonstrated in this case, if you're a law-abiding citizen, if you're a civil person, you do not engage in brigandage. what you do is you go to court and seek a civil and civilized intervention. And that's what I have done. Now, anyone doing such a thing, you must agree, is interested in ensuring that peace reigns and in ensuring that the party moves ahead to win elections. So, to answer your question, yeah, if somebody engages in an act that is obviously, act of political gangsterism, you don't engage along the same line, so that if you do that, it becomes difficult for people to separate who is the gangster, who is the normal person. So what you do is
that what you are describing, what your party is doing?
You make no. You understand? You make peace. You just try to make peace, work together, and then move ahead. And that's still the same message I'm passing on. If you listen to the statement I issued, I have appealed to everybody for us to join hands, work together to achieve success. That's what I'm known for. Peace, progress, unity, humility, transparency, and hard work. So I'm not going to leave that in a hell of a hurry, either because someone did something wrong or a group of people within a structure, decided to do something wrong and then, impose it on the entire party. No. What I'm going to do, and what I've already requested for in my statement, which I issued on the 30th, is that let's join hands. Let's work together. That's the only way to move forward. No one wants to behave like, you remember the judgment of King Solomon, where the lady whose child died was now insisting that the surviving child of the other woman should be, broken into two, so that each person gets one part, and by then you have no other living child. So we have to work together as a team and then be able to succeed. This has gone past us because the Court of Appeal has made a clear determination, which was, I do not know, the Court of First Instance found it difficult to establish. Well, that's where we are. So I think we're all going to work together. I have made my effort. Hold on, let me finish. I have made my effort. I've issued a statement. I've also spoken to people that, look, it makes sense for us to work together and not to continue with... look, this is the sixth court that have been taken to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, but I'm not bothered about that because the finding has been made.
Okay. Now, Steve, you mentioned is the sixth court you've been taken to. Is it not evocative of the fact that perhaps your party doesn't really want you to be there? And then re-echoing the sentiment of party is supreme. Eventually, that very judgment of the Court of Appeal in Owerri, if it stands, it means you're going to be on the ballot against your party's leadership wish of Mecca Atoma. Now, don't you think there would be too much bitterness in your team? Do you think they would jettison all that to work with you when they feel you are really not in tandem with what they truly want?
Okay, Wisdom, let me tell you, you seem to be taking this out of context. Let me also
I am not, these are obvious questions.
Let me educate you. You're a young man. Party is very important according to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria because nobody is an independent candidate. And it was the same party that I bought from and participated in the primary. And when I participated in that primary, I won. And Chief Enrico was the only candidate, the only person aspirant that I defeated. And he has been made a minister. And he's become a minister of the Federal Republic. So today I'm alone. So for the party, if the party wants a candidate to run for the office of Senate of Abia Central, the party will continue to work with me. I will continue to work with the party. I'm a member of the party. That's not in dispute. So I don't think you'll be talking about the party not working with it. Don't just know that a few people, usually cause little friction. Don't generalize, but because it's the party that I'm still working with. And if you have checked the reaction of people since the 30th, I'm sure you must have found out that truly, to the glory of God, we do not make noise, but we walk with the people, and we walk with the people.
Okay. From your own stance, you think that your party will definitely rally around you. And you mentioned something. You said it could be some few people in your party who have been the bane for this back and forth over the authentic candidature of your party, especially in tandem with where you are headed for, which is your ambition. But do you suspect a third party affair whereby someone somewhere is pulling the strings, using some people in your party to work against you? Do you envisage or think something of that nature is really happening?
I don't engage in unproductive speculation. I am a candidate of APC Abia Central, and I know that the reaction I have received since the 30th is indicative of the fact that the people want to work with me, and I want to work with them, and I've been serving them faithfully, transparently, honestly. And of course, you have verifiable pieces of evidence to support this assertion. So, if anybody is somewhere pulling the strings and all that, well, he's doing that. He's busy in his house. But I know that the people who carry the mandate, who use the power of their thumbs to elevate any elected official to his Olympian position, that those people, by the special grace of God, without sounding them modest, they are with me, and I will be prepared to work with them. Anybody who is pulling strings somewhere, the person can continue to pull strings, but I know that the good people of Abia State, Abia Central, Nigerians, the youths, my brother, I cannot thank them enough because they stood solidly by me to ensure that this impunity will not continue. And we're happy about that. And that's why I say I'm thanking God, I'm thanking Abians, I'm thanking the entire people who said we saw the primary hold in the afternoon, not in the night. And in this primary election that held in the afternoon, Onuigbo won. So, and how else do you pay them back except to serve them well? And how do you serve them well except they give you opportunity and give you platform? So I really thank them. I thank everyone. And I appeal to everybody to come together and let us work. And just remember, election now is not going to be based on wisdom Thomas Carlo of Okokondem party. It's going to be wisdom Thomas Carlo. Okay, we're going to vote for.
Why assign me to a party that doesn't even exist, Honorable? Okay.
Or if I say you're a member of APC, they'll say you are being partisan.
If you're just joining the conversation, welcome. It is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, and I've been having a chat with the representative Umuahia Ikwana Federal Constituency, Honorable Sam Onuigbo, and this is in the aftermath of the ruling which took place at the Court of Appeal in Owerri, whereby he has been confirmed as the authentic candidate of the party going into the elections next year. Now, one thing your party has been saying, Philas can attest to, is that they say they are looking for someone with capacity. Do you think you have done enough as per your antecedents, given the time you've been there representing your people, which should have possibly giving you the support you require from your people?
Okay. I hope you have time.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You have time?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, capacity, performance to justify reposing confidence in me. Let me start by saying that first, I thank the good people of great Ikwana Federal Constituency, because for the first time, they made it possible for me to be the first person to be re-elected in this federal constituency. And in doing so, it's obvious that this federal constituency is large, sophisticated, and highly urbanized. So these are not people that you go and convince or go deceive, There are a lot of educated people. And you also remember that this is a federal constituency that represents the entire state. Do not make any mistake about that. What I'm saying in effect is that those who vote in Ikwu and Umuahia North and South federal constituency, there are people from Abia North, Abia South, Anambra, Enugu, federal, employees who are here. And for them, in their wisdom, who have voted for me massively, go and check the records with INEC, for the second time, means they believe that I represent what representation means, which is using the mandate given to you through the power of the thumbs of your constituents, using that mandate to reach out to them. If you want to count the projects, that's why I said you have the time. If I start counting the projects, whether you want to talk about erosion control project at Amankwa, Zeleke, Amachala, we are talking about over 500, 400 million naira worth of project. Is it erosion control at Okoburu? That we're talking about 400, 500 million naira project in one. That the president, in recognition of the significance of these projects, had to send out ministers on separate occasions to come and represent him in commissioning those projects. Are you talking of the major skills acquisition center at Apumiro Bakara, facilitated by me? Federal government is no longer doing that type. It's over 120 million naira project. It's at its last phase. Do you want to talk about the classrooms, by the grace of God, that we have facilitated? And if you go to Olokuru, you find one at Tomajata, one at Tomotowe. If you go to Sirimu, you see another one at Sirimu. If you go to Adama Girls, you see another one. If you go to Amata, you see one. You go to Ekebedi, you see one. These are blocks of classrooms. You go to Umuka, you see one. So when you are counting all these things, talking about classroom, if you go to Omolo, you see another one. Then if you come to talk about transformers, it's all over. You see them all over the place. Whether you are talking about Manduru, Omaraga, Omagun Glory, Fugiri, and all that. I cannot even count all of them. There are too many to remember. Then if you want to talk about a road project, by the special grace of God, I facilitated the road from Umuahia to Ekotekini, which if you go now, you see the construction going on right now as we speak, and that is worth over 13.2 billion naira. I was also the one who facilitated a federal secretariat that was supposed to be built there at the state capital. We don't have one now, but the state government is still working on how to get the title documents. That is, I facilitated in 2019. So if you now want to talk about empowerment, you cannot count the number of empowerment programs that I've done, verifiable. Sometime we had 1,500. Recently we had poultry that we have given people, and we have used that to take them out of the unemployment field. So if you talk about, or is it people that we have managed to put to do
Honorable, if I may interject now, giving how much you have, according to you have done for your people, so why is it seeming as though your party truly doesn't want you there? Any idea?
Well, what I'll tell you is that even when I'm not Jesus Christ, so I don't do comparison, say, but just know that even when Jesus Christ came and was performing miracles, a group of people still got together and said, we must finish him. In fact, they were saying, what's this guy? Barabbas. That they should save Barabbas, but give us the other one, let us kill him.
Are you suggesting,
hold on, let me finish. What I'm saying is, I'm not doing any comparison, not Jesus Christ, but what I'm trying to tell you is that it's a common occurrence to find that even when you are doing well, there are still individuals who they don't have the capacity to match what we are doing. They cannot do what we are doing. They are not prepared to do it. But they must run negative commentary or engage in some, clandestine activities to undermine you. So don't worry about that. It could be just one or two persons who believe they are vocal in the party. But in terms of performance, verifiable performance, to which you have had a little snippet.
Don't you think you have ruffled feathers along the line, perhaps in the discharge of your duties, or even while you've been a member of your party?
How can you ruffle feathers when you are discharging your duties responsibly and transparently? It's only individuals who are worried about something they don't like positive. They engage in that act. There are people who have, special gift of engaging in mischief just for the fun of it. So how can you ruffle feathers when you have outperformed your peers? Is that supposed to ruffle feathers? Or is that supposed to be commended, emulated, and of course, somebody being recognized? So I don't see how you ruffle feathers with outstanding performance.
Okay, we are due for a break now, so when we make a return, possibly I would just let him in on what his next question will be all about. If the judgment stands, like I earlier stated, you will be up against the likes of Colonel Austin Akobundu, your Equano brother from PDP, Dalit in Wokocha, the likes of Ahamdi Nweke is equally going to be one of your opponents, and others. And the big question is about, what do you think is your chance of beating all these ones, coming up trumps against them? When we make a return after this very short break, it will be over to you. So it's the second half of the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. We do this twice a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So this means this is the very last edition for the week. My name is Wisdom Thomas. Thank you for staying with us. Just trying to reiterate what has been on the front burner this morning. It is the aftermath of the judgment that took place at the Court of Appeal in Owerri, where Honorable Onuigbo has been adjudged to be the authentic candidate of the APC for that very, very position. Talking about the candidate for Abia Central Senatorial District, and he joins us virtually. Thank you for staying with us till, Honorable Onuigbo.
Thank you very much indeed, Wisdom. Thanks for your time.
All right, we will definitely get you involved. You are their listener at some point, so only get ready. Before we went on the break, sir, I said I will ask you, given your opponents, some of them are eggheads, heavyweights in their rights, but what are your chances of even conquering them, politically speaking?
Well, thank you very much. First, I would like to rephrase your statement. I'm not going to conquer anybody. I'm going to be
politically
the preferred candidate, of the masses of Abia Central, of the electorate.
That sounds like a political. That sounds like a political statement now.
Exactly. So, by His grace, I'll be the preferred candidate. Because, see, let me tell you wisdom. After nearly 24 years, in fact, you could call it 24, 25 years, because we started in 1998, of unbroken democratic dispensation, the electorate have become wiser. And we have even made it easier for them by enacting the Electoral Act 2022, which allows the electorate to choose to apply the power. And that's why when we talk about political presentations, we talk about that the office of the citizen, the office of the electorate, is the most important office in the land, because they are there forever to choose who they want to anoint as a leader. So I have no fears that, having spent this number of years and having gone through a lot of deceit, dishonesty by people who parade themselves as leaders or who parade themselves as having been elected, that the electorate is now at liberty to look through, check your record, juxtapose your record, juxtapose your achievements, your performances against what you want to run for. And if in a situation, they look at your records and they find out that you have nothing to show, or that even the one they sent you, all you did was to deceive. The electorate that we're seeing today with the Electoral Act 2022, they are at liberty to make choices. And I have no fears that given what God has used me to do, which the things are verifiable, they will prefer me to other, because they will put side by side what I've been able to do and then compare it with others. They will also watch out for individuals and system. Your records, who you are, how dependable or reliable you are over the years. They'll use this to determine whether they are going to vote for you or not. And I have no doubt that they will vote for me, given my record.
So you've mentioned the fact that the antecedents will play an integral role, especially in convincing the electorate to go for Honorable Sam Onuigbo. But the key question to ask is, what are your plans for your constituents if you eventually emerge as the Abia Central Senatorial District Senator? What are those things you will do when you get into that point? Because obviously, more often than not, politicians release a lot of statements, say a lot of things of what they will do. At the end of the day, it's left to be seen. You can even point a few of them that they may have done after emerging. In your case, what do you want to do for your people?
Okay, in responding to your last question, I used the words antecedents. I used the word verifiable accomplishments. See, when I ran to be elected, I campaigned for about 1.5 years, because as I campaigned in 2013 up until December 6, 2014, when we did the primary election. What I used to run for this office that I'm holding now, my campaign slogan, or my whatever you call it, if you want to say, the promises you made, or what exactly do they call it? What I used to run my election was based on 3-letter words. And those 3-letter words, I would like you to take them to heart, write them down. I used the acronym EAR. EAR. I told the people of Great Ikwa that I will be effective, that is E. I will be effective on the floor and also in the committees to fight for their rights. I also told them that I'll be accessible, that is A, to those who have used the power of their tongues to elevate me to this position. I followed up by saying I'll be responsive to their legitimate concerns and aspirations according to the resources, contacts, and opportunities at my disposal. Wisdom, if you go back and juxtapose this acronym E against my performance over the years, you would find that, look, by His grace, I have lived up to it, and I have even done beyond those modest words that I used. So now, on what I will do, I have already been able to attract some projects that have not been either executed or completed. For instance, I cited the Federal Secretariat, which we do not have after nearly 31 years or so of the creation of Abia State. I was the one who went to convince the Minister of Works and Housing, His Excellency Babatunde Raji Fashola, and he said, go and work with your governor. And of course, I did a letter to that effect to the governor. And the governor followed up on my letter and wrote. But after getting to a point, bring the title documents to enable the federal government come and build a federal secretariat for us free. The thing stopped on the table of the state government.
Are you saying?
I am sure that if I'm re-elected,
okay.
So hold on. I'm sure that if I'm re-elected to be the senator representing the good people of Abia Central, that we will get that accomplished. I have also worked on a road network that will create a dual carriageway from Amachara down to the university in Umudike. They call it the 16 kilometer. I worked on them from beginning to the end in designing that. That is also there. It requires a push to get these things done. I'm also working on ensuring that we have a federal institution that is going to handle the issues of climate change and all that. That is going to be integrated into the university to create opportunities for employment, to bring things closer to our people. There are so many things you have to bring up and handle. Listen, I have done design works for erosion control points, one at Onuigbo that has exposed the pipelines there with the threat of causing fire. I've done the engineering works, paid for it. I've done one for Onuigbo, paid for it. These are erosion sites. I've done another one. So I will extend these things, my ability to be able to push for such projects and get them successfully executed. I will extend it to the other half of Abia Central.
Okay.
So for me, what I'm going to do, I will even do much more than anybody is talking about.
Okay.
It's not enough to say you have written a manifesto and then you have people blow grammar and then the manifesto is lying west without being put to use. That's why I said those who are going to vote, they will most likely, and don't forget, this is an enlightened senatorial zone. They are going to rely on the antecedents of the individual is. What is his character? Is he accessible? Do we now send him to that office and he develops horns and starts knocking everybody down? And they will also find out, are you responsive to their legitimate concerns and needs? These are the basic things that you are supposed to do as a politician, as a representative of the people, and they are able to win them over.
Okay.
It's not all about driving long cars and making too much noise or holding noisy parties in town. It's being able to know the needs of the people and addressing them.
Honorable Sam, it's obvious.
Wisdom.
Yeah, it's obvious that one needs the support and the synergy of everybody in the party, especially given your ambition, which you've been evocative about this morning on the program. But one quick key question to ask is, what is your relationship with other APC chieftains, like especially your governorship candidate, Chief Ikechi Emenike? What is your relationship with him like?
The relationship with everyone is cordial and very productive.
Okay, now let's move on quickly. This leaves a lot of persons asking questions, and sometimes when they ask these questions, they really cannot even provide answers. But I would ask you, I think you are in a better place to give us answers to these. Aren't you surprised that your party, the All Progressives Congress in Abia State, is enmeshed in so many multiple litigations after the primary election? Like you mentioned on the program earlier on, you said you've been involved in 6 already, and when we look at the Guba situation in your party too, we know that is still a subject for debate, back and forth between your talking about Chief Ikechi Emenike and of course Dr. Samson Uche Oga and all that. Are you not surprised about all this, or are you surprised? Whichever you prefer to respond to.
No, like I said, if you listen to my response on the issue of whether I'm reaching out, and I told you that I've talked about long before now. I've been speaking about lowering everybody's rank, so as to work together to achieve the desired purpose. So for me, I remember that when I was working with the distinguished senator representing Abia Central, His Excellency Senator T.O. GCON, I remember him telling me that he went through about 21 cases or so, in one particular instance. I think it's something that happens particularly around this part of the country. That's particularly in the southern part of the country, and maybe particularly in the southeast. That the Oyibo, if you go and take the reason why perhaps we are denied power, it's because when the colonial masters came here and were interacting with different groups of people, they described us as extremely litigious people. It is in our character to assert ourselves because we are also extremely Republican in the way we do things. It's part of it, and I'm sure that over time it will all be resolved, and we'll march on to victory. But let me tell you something.
Still staying with your response.
Let me state a point. Elections this period will be based largely on an individual and what he's able to do. I said we've been practicing this for nearly a quarter of a century, and people have become very, very, very wise. So they'll resolve these things, and once the people know this is the person we want to deal with, this is his antecedents, this is the way he conducts himself. If we send him there, he's not going to become a King Kong or develop once and knock down everyone. They will rally around and vote for the person.
Now, you have said it's a stock in trade of especially politicians in the southeast, if I heard you clearly. Now, talking about your party,
it's not just politicians. It's we. You know, when somebody wants to take your land in the east, you go to court. So we're highly litigious.
Okay. Now,
stop politicians alone.
Okay. Don't you think it would affect the chances of your party going into the polls across board with all these back and forth entangled in litigations?
Okay, every party here is in a struggle in Abia State, if you want me to say that, and then I'm saying it loudly. The PDP, for instance, they have a candidate, a very highly, educated person, who perhaps wasn't even too much into politics before now. But the issue now is, for the past 25 years, or 24 going to 25, that the PDP has been in the saddle. You now just try to juxtapose a quarter of a century against the performance of the party. And you will find that it fades away, the performance fades away horribly. So for me, it's going to be about the resolution of the people.
Okay.
That look, we are done with this.
Okay.
And we are going to go with this. The individuals, the people, even within the PDP, you can still find candidates who mean well. And the people are going to look at them and vote for them.
Okay.
It's not going to be about your party, you are this. If somebody comes through party A, maybe APC, and is a man of character, a man of accomplishment, a man with good record, a man with truth.
Okay. I think you've made your point, Honorable Sam.
It's the same thing for.
I think you've made your point now. I want us to
take away. I call a takeaway around. In nearly 25 years of unbroken democratic dispensation, what manner of people have we seen? And the people who are going to vote will base their judgment on that.
Okay. It's time for us to get our listeners involved in the conversation now. Call us 0808-26-949 or 0811-6052-949. You can equally send a message to 090-656-510-08289, or you can equally send go to facebook.com, drop your comments there. When you're calling, tell us your name and location, and you have 40 seconds to air your view. Morning to you.
Good morning, Wisdom.
Thank you for joining the conversation. Quickly.
I'm not hearing the person. I'm not Evangelist. Evangelist Ken, calling from Mumbai here.
No, what do you say? I want to hear the name, please.
Evangelist Ken, calling from Mumbai.
He said it's Ninja Ken. Go ahead.
Evangelist Kenneth, calling from Mumbai.
Okay.
I have listened to your interview with your guest. To be frank, we don't need people to tell us who is telling the truth or not. Truth will reveal itself when that person is speaking it. There are people, their name is bring the money, share the money. Once you are not the type that will bring the money and share, they will work against you. There are people, their eye is when you bring the money for the people you are standing for. Share to them then and do the job. But when you are doing the work, they will hate you. From what I have heard of the man, I'm not in APC, I don't know him before, but from what I have heard of him, let him go ahead. God is behind him. God bless you.
Thank you very much for your take on the program. Still, callers phone lines are open for you to call in and make your own contributions. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Can you kindly turn down the volume on your radio set so we can have a good conversation, okay?
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Chintini. I want to use this opportunity to say congratulations to my honorable member. Representing me, but the only thing I always speak the truth, because I was aware of that primary. I only came to that place we did that primary. I did not see anything like a attachment that primary. I did not see the minister. I was surprised when I hear that I'm winning the senatorial ticket. Because I know it was tested with my brother, Munike. And you know this problem we are happening. Sometimes we come to blame judiciary. Why they have a constitution? Why can't you people obey the constitution, follow the constitution? When you match the constitution and somebody go to court, you start blaming court. If you do the right thing, who will go to court? How do you judiciary come into a party?
Okay. Thank you for your take. Thank you.
I want to tell someone, you know, you're a man, the way you act, you're not a radical position. They thank you for that because you're helping now, but that's what you're doing. They prove the whole world that you are someone able. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much for your take. Taking your call still. Good morning.
Hello.
Thank you for joining the conversation. Name and location.
Yeah, good morning, Wisdom.
May we meet you?
Yeah, it's Alvin. I'm calling you from Denver. Good morning to your girl. Hello.
All right. I can hear you, Alvan. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm saying is this. We are not surprised, what is happening in APC. Today, they are in court. Tomorrow, court has delivered judgment, and we are kind of confused. But for me, I am not confused because what is happening today is a kind of define. Because APC as a government, they have failed. So what is happening in Omar and Abia Central Senatorial District means that they don't have any chances, and we are happy. We have a man that is capable, and I'm happy. I guess I've even described him very intelligent, the Colonel Akobondo, who will take the mantle and the minister. Because the president and senator representing that country have done much in the person of Senator T.O. So we want a man who will continue in that trajectory. Of course, it will be good for India Defense to have a senator Akobondo to have these people who have been fighting in court. They have not been campaigning because of their court cases, which we are not interested. Because I don't know what they are coming to tell.
Thank you very much, Alvan.
I didn't know his name.
You've made your point. That's Alvan Egon. Let's continue to take your reactions. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Name and location.
Thank you, Wisdom. I am Chief Stanley Asos and Amijo Loco. I believe that the court of competent judicial have given a fair judgment towards this matter. I sincerely believe that Emeka Atuma is not the rightful candidate for this position. And as the case may be, during the time of the primaries, we all saw what happened. Therefore, I want to give kudos to my man, Honorable Sam Onuigbo. Go ahead. God is with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your take on the program. Let's look at the comments on Facebook. Time is...
What's the name of the guy who called last? I want to respond.
I've lost track of that, Honorable.
Okay.
Time is telling off, so let's look at the comments on Facebook now. From Wachuku Kennedy Chinedu says, Voice of Mbise, good morning, Mr. Speaker. We are solidly behind Sam Onuigbo. He remains the man and also the authentic candidate for APC. So others parading themselves as authentic candidates should tread with caution. from Ozo Francis Namani. He says he's watching us live from Amagunze. I hope I got that name rightly. So in Enugu State. Okay, Honorable Sam Onuigbo, quickly your reaction, because time is of essence and it is only saying time to go.
Well, essentially, I want to thank you. And again, I don't even, from the responses they gave, I think I'm encouraged, except an individual who came there to run a campaign for an individual who is not on this ballot. For me, I just want to thank all the respondents, wherever they are, those writing on Facebook and all that. One thing is clear. In fact, the purpose of my agreeing to do this interview is to thank the people of Abia State, Abia Central, Nigerians, the young people who have worked with me and those who know me, and to say that by His grace, I will go ahead and represent them well. They will continue to access me. It's not a question of you be a big man, you're a big man for years, and then you come now, you are running around, you want to. People cannot access you, they cannot reach you. We are here, we are the people who work with the grassroots. So we are ready to work.
Okay.
And I want to thank everyone. There's nothing more than that. And above all, I am grateful to God for making it possible for what was obvious lie, naked injustice, for it to be brought to an end.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Sam Onuigbo. He's representing Umuahia Ikwano Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives, and of course the candidate of the APC for Umuahia Central Senatorial District, as affirmed Abia Central Senatorial District, as affirmed by the Court of Appeal in Owerri. Thank you very much for being a part of the conversation this morning.
Thank you very much indeed. Wisdom.
Thank you very much to everyone who called in at some point or the other, those who dropped their comments on Facebook, and you who tried to call in but couldn't get through. Thank you very much. Let me sincerely appreciate my producer, Mr. Samson Eze, and of course those who contributed one thing or the other. Thank you very much, Adeze and Stanko, who is behind the visuals you're getting on Facebook. This is where the cookie crumbles on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. My name is Wisdom Thomas, urging you to have an amazing Friday and weekend. God bless you.